Hi everyone, Troy Martin. I know what you're thinking. Why the hell is he laying on the floor on a foam roller? I wanted to talk about foam rolling a little bit because foam rolling is enormously overrated. I know every personal trainer in the world is going to get angry when they see this because it's a big part of what you do. It used to be a big part of what I did. I used to get all my clients foam rolling. It doesn't really do anything. All you're doing is just kind of crushing the muscles. If you have tension in a spot of, in a specific area in any of the muscles, if you have a trigger point or a quote unquote adhesion or a knot or whatever, then you're better off using one of these. This is a trigger point ball. So if you've got a knot in a muscle, you get the trigger point ball, you get into that spot. Oh, found one already. Okay. And then you spend about 30 seconds, a minute, maybe 90 seconds at most. And you push yourself into it, you relax the muscle, breathe deeply, and you will feel the tension release. Whether that's a physiological thing or a psychological thing or a bit of both, don't really know, but it does seem to work. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't ever use a foam roller. If you like foam rolling and if you feel that it's doing you some good, then carry on, because on some level it's probably doing you some good and it's almost certainly not doing you any harm. Just be aware that you're not trying to make fire. So don't roll so fast that you create friction. You need to be doing slow movements. In fact, it's not even really rolling at all. Similar method to what I showed you with the trigger point ball. So why have I got this foam roller here? So this is what I use a foam roller for. A few things to take into account. If you have a bad back, particularly a lower back, be aware of your ranges of motion. You may find this is too much. So you can get a foam roller that is like a half roller where it's like cut down the middle, or you can cut it yourself, or just get a towel, roll a towel up so it's softer and is less dense than this and not as thick as this. But basically what I do is I stretch out the mid spine. So in this position to start with, keeping the spine neutral to begin with, the foam roller is just on the bottom of my shoulder blades here. Now you take your hands, you place your hands on the top of your head, not behind your head because you're not cranking the neck. So place the hands on the top of your head, bring your elbows in so you can see the insides of your elbows, and try and push your head up into your hands. You're pushing your scalp, the back of your scalp, into the palms of your hands to lengthen the back of the neck out, bring the chin in. So we're keeping the neck in neutral. We're trying to avoid hyperextending the cervical spine here. Okay, so there's your starting position. So you can see neutral spine, neutral neck. Take a deep breath and just go as far back over the foam roller as you can. Again, trying to keep that neutral neck, so not lifting that chin and cranking the neck. Okay, exhale and roll yourself forward. Again, inhale, exhale. So the reason you inhale as you go back is because you're opening up the chest cavity so you can get a nice deep functional breath down through those lungs, through that diaphragm. And then what you can do, after you've done that a few times, you can just move the foam roller down a little bit so you can get more extension and you start loosening off more of that thoracic spine. Remember, the thoracic spine is roughly here to about here. Okay, so you don't want to be doing any foam rolling down here with the foam roller in the lumbar spine. If you feel any compression or pain through the lower back here when you're doing it, reduce your range of motion or don't do it at all. Maybe you just need to tuck the tailbone a little bit, engage the core to stabilize the lower back, but we're trying to get movement and extension to stretch the mid spine. We want to keep the lower spine stable. Big reason why a lot of people get lower back pain is because there's stiffness through the mid spine and laxity through the lower spine. You're moving the lower spine too much, rotating it, flexing, extending it more than it needs to be. When it should be stable, you're moving it. So we're trying to mobilize the mid spine and stabilize the lower back to take the load off the lower back. This is a good exercise that you can do to help with lower back pain. It's a good exercise you can do to increase the mobility of the upper spine and your shoulders, particularly if you're struggling with good form on overhead pressing. Okay, so that was the TM Fitness guide to how to stretch with the foam roller. If you've got any questions, put them in the box. Please subscribe. Please check out my other videos, and I'll catch you soon. Laters.